Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video, we'll be discussing my thoughts on episode 3 of the anime series, Keijo. And my god, man, there was a lot of butt and boob fondling going on in this episode. And at least in Alba's case, I mean, it's for the purposes, air quotes, of collecting butt data. Yeah, that's the thing. Apparently rubbing the buttocks of all of her opponents and all these girls in this academy, she can glean some kind of information. I have no idea how exactly that works, but it does seem to fall loosely in line with Miyata Sayaka's, whole aspect of pulling tight her swimsuit, revealing more of her buttocks, her butt cheeks, and somehow streamlining her swiftness in attacks, becoming more aerodynamic, I guess. I don't exactly know, because she is supposed to be the speediest among Room 309, Nozomi's class, And there's going to be this whole impending class sort of matchup where they're going to be going up against elites to effectively see who in sort of the first tier can actually succeed up a peg and become part of that elite class. And so there's this whole emphasis on the butt cannon effect that Nozomi puts into effect accidentally. And there's this whole aspect of risking her body, because the way she would need to utilize her hips, it'll really screw up the bone structure and the muscles, and she could really do some physical damage to her body, which seems to be what happened with the one very weighty instructor. It seems through the flashbacks we're hearing her tell her own sort of personal tale when schooling Nozomi and telling her, no, you're not going to use that butt cannon ability because it can really mess you up. But they end up coming to a sort of compromise where, Nozomi's not going to back down. This is where the absolute sincerity of this series just blows my mind, because everything else is such, an absurd notion. All of these abilities, what they're able to do with their bodies, especially Miyata herself, the swiftness with which she launches her butt and can fire rounds from her butt, so to speak. It's just absolutely insane. It makes no sense that this would be physically possible. It's like, nth degree Dragon Ball kind of Super Saiyan powers with the butts and the boobs. And so that sincerity that Nozomi puts forth as a character, that I'm not going to back down. I'm going to be the best I can be. I want to be this prize-winning Keijo player and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it just really gets me laughing, that she's so determined. And for her determination, basically this instructor gives her, for all intents and purposes, a gimp suit. This very tight-fitting, sort of sneaking suit attire that only has the belly button area exposed, and it's really cranking down on her body, like squashing her from outside. I have to assume that this particular suit, this particular attire, must be working her body like 3 times faster than what would be normal. Like if she's doing a normal workout, it might take her, say, a couple months to actually build some muscle and show some results. Whereas I wonder if this suit is actually meant to fasten that pace and get her actually more honed and more skilled and more able to utilize her body. She's basically told by Alba, who gives her like 2 massages in this particular episode, she's got to relax her muscles and all that kind of stuff. So once she finally does actually relax and she puts that into motion while she's wearing this particular outfit, she realizes she can actually move around in it a lot better and actually own it a little bit more. And it's going to be really intriguing to see when it's finally her turn in this particular, mixed class matchup, if she's going to still be able to work at her fullest potential, her speed, her strength, and all that kind of stuff, butts and boobs, in play. It's going to be interesting to see if she can still rise to the challenge as she normally would, because this suit does seem to hinder her for a large chunk of the episode. She's fallen on her butt, she's hardly able to sleep and everything like that. It's twisting her into a pretzel. So I have to assume that, she's garnered some level of being able to master it and control it. But will that affect, seeing her using the butt cannon again, this particular possibly geisha's technique? I don't know. I was speculating that in the last episode. But it's also really down to Miyata herself, because she's going up against another elite that we just had debuted in this episode, the blue-haired Rin, or Rin, who is the fastest of the elite class. So you have the fastest of the elites and the fastest of Room 309, our main characters, Miyata. They're going to be going head-to-head. And Rin is full of herself. She's absolutely confident beyond measure, but she has a chip on her shoulder to say none of these girls, except potentially for Nozomi, is even worth trying to go up against. And when the episode ends, we see Miyata surprises the hell out of Rin, because they're in that matchup together. And I don't think she saw Rin coming, you know, as far as being able to have that much speed for a you know, sort of bottom tier classmate, or whatever you want to call it. And so it's going to be really intriguing to see. I like that more of our main characters are getting into this interplay, if you will, even though it is absolutely caked in absurdity and insanity. Just the sincerity with which they are moving within the confines of this story, it's intriguing to me. It's like I've never seen anything quite like it before, and it's entertaining, it's hilarious, it's sometimes, you know, a little uncomfortable with how close, like, Rin's getting up on some of the girls, grabbing their boobs, and, you know, you have Alba thinking about grabbing a girl's butt in the sauna or in the bathhouse, whatever it is like, okay, we're going to get you massaging them so you can get your data, you know, okay, whatever, air quotes, data, whatever. It's absurd. It's crazy, but it's entertaining as hell. And so, yeah, looking forward to the next episode to see how Miyata fares against Rin and how Nozomi is going to fare just wearing that suit, if she's mastered it or not. And so, yeah, otherwise, that'll be pretty much it for me on this. Hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.